Hi, my name is Tremaine Friend, and welcome to Talent Xpanse TV. I am the lead and the head of Talent Xpanse Operations and HR, as well as Talent Operations, joined by Rafael, the CEO of PIHRA. Today's episode is going to be a year in partnership. We're going to dive into what we've been able to accomplish. And this show is really focused on the purpose, the empowerment, and addressing, the wide spectrum of talent capabilities, business initiatives that drive growth, and everything that our leaders and our communities are experiencing kind of along that wide spectrum. Rafael, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Tremaine. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a whole year in partnership.
Shout out to your marketing team. I love the intro.
Yay, celebration. So Rafael, would you just share for our members who may not be as familiar with PIHRA, our partnership, you as an executive? Hopefully we're reaching not only those that are in our ecosystem, but those potential talent leaders, those new members, those who may be seeking out resources and education and opportunity to cultivate relationships in their community. What would you tell us today?
Well, certainly, Tremaine, I know that our HR audience is vast and diverse in the functional roles that they play, from a HR professional that does recruiting to those that solely focus on recruiting. So I am the CEO of PIHRA, Professionals in Human Resources Association. For those of you that are new to getting to know PIHRA, we are an affiliate of SHRM, and we serve Southern California with 18 professional communities and 12 student chapters. So we're near you for that in-person local engagement, both to get your continuing education and to build your community of peers. So that's really a little background about who we are as an organization, and I guess what we do. We provide continuing education and we help to connect HR professionals. And we'd like to partner with organizations like Talent Xpanse to explore new ways to serve our communities. So very happy to be celebrating. I think it's been more than a year, but let's just say it's been a year, and it's been a good year thus far.
It has. It has been. It has been an incredible opportunity to, really look at the distinctions around talent, recruiting, talent acquisition, talent management, and what our practitioners are experiencing. Is there anything that stands out kind of as a flagship success in our partnership this year?
I'm very happy that Talent Xpanse has been able to, I think I'm going to say this, exceed our expectations in meeting the demands of the employers to fill those vacancies. So that has been a great success on your part. Also, something that we were able to bring to our audience was a talent half the event, which we did this past March, and we're going to do again in 2026. Hopefully, it's going to be twice as big, but just as great, with fantastic speakers and content that our audience can take away and immediately apply when they return to the office.
Perfect. I think we have a little bit of an intro there. So for those that don't know, Talent Symposium 2026 is already in the works. We are so excited to bring a spectrum of professionals with an emphasis on practitioner education, really digging into not only the trends, but also what is the community asking for when it comes to experiential learning and coming together as a community. Rafael, in attending our combined Talent Symposium 2025, what was it takeaway? What was it like for you as a leader? This idea coming from concept into reality and impacting our community.
Well, some of the things that I appreciated, I'm going to say number one was being able to connect with HR executives that I didn't have relationships with. I think that you have a vast network that you're able to reach out to those relationships and bring them forth to our audience. So I appreciated that. Some of their takeaways was just the stories about how the origin stories. This is how I got into recruiting. This is how I grew within this field, and these were the tips that helped me be better at my job. So it helped connect with different levels, different career levels that were participating at the event because they could relate, in being mid-career, and others that are just on the cusp of how do I get to the next level? Like, what does it take for me to move on to an executive role within a enterprise business?
Fantastic. That's really, really exciting. And it's such a privileged opportunity. I think over the year, also through the lens of an executive leader and your peer community, connecting with other executives, would you say that there's anything that's kind of leading or trending as far as talent and recruiting, being a challenge or a white space that we in our partnership should be addressing?
Well, the ongoing challenge that I have shared with you, I shared with other executives, and right now with providers, is we're looking to revamp our career center platform. There's just a disconnect. Executives are telling me, "Hey, I don't have a full team. I've been looking for 6 to 9 months, maybe not with not with a recruiter, maybe not with a search firm, but they've been looking and they haven't been able to fill those vacancies. And I have plenty of qualified individuals at all career levels that sometimes I'm doing um, an introduction to that hiring manager, and that seems to be like the best way for me to help somebody move into that next role. But our process seems to be broken. We need to figure out how to make sure that we fill those HR teams and that those HR professionals, members or HR professionals in the community at large are looking for roles. They're able to connect to that next role a lot quicker than is happening right now.
Well, I'm glad that you bring that up. I mean, I think we could take a little bit of a segue here and maybe talk about the broader talent community and the broader experience, both on the candidate side and the employer side. There are a lot of, I think, experiences that lead to almost a little bit of an adversarial experience with what's posted, who's responding, what kind of responses I get. This could be something that we could address as an organization in a partnership. How can we change the tone of the talent life cycle, right? The transition or in evolution cycle, so people are not feeling so island and or stranded. That's also something that I think that we could really add value with our career services at the chapter level, and our programming.
Yeah, I think it's very important for the company to really consider their employer brand and how they engage with prospects, whether they're managing the recruiting in-house or they have outsourced to a third party to manage that process. You need to determine what is going to be that time to respond. What's going to be your tone? How will you manage those ongoing communications? One of the things that I appreciate about, and I know this of you personally, is that you're there, you're following up, you're providing updates, you're handholding both the employer and the prospects along the process. So it feels um, that you're a true partner. I do talk to companies that they confess, hey, as now the economy is shifting a little bit, they put out one job posting, they're overwhelmed. It's like, hey, 100 people applied within the first 48 hours. That's more people that we can like manage. So you're cutting off that process. You may not have got to the right people, but you're so overwhelmed with applications that you can't possibly manage a process. If you leave it open, what I've also heard is the recruiters telling the candidates, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not going to be able to follow up with you. you follow up with me on whatever, schedule, like, that person shares, and it puts the responsibility on the person that's being recruited. That doesn't feel great because you like you my opinion, you want to be valued and you want them to be pursuing you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is a great segue into some of the programming, some of the education, some of the opportunities, and some of the topics that we could be addressing, at the upcoming Talent Symposium. Also, looking at kind of the evolution and the change in perspective. Where is value? From a recruiting and talent acquisition kind of experience for my career, we're gravitating away from the days of yield ratios, right? How many applicants, how many interviews, to really measuring candidate experience, offer accepted. One of the things that we've talked about and we've been able to partner with PIHRA is bringing kind of our quality of hire calculator to our practitioners, to our organizations, and the quality of hire calculator starts to look at those things, right? It's starting to be like a measurement, and how do we incorporate some of our accessible tools like AI to maybe improve or enhance, or to start drilling down on the real gaps, right? What are the response rates? What are our response times? So there's a lot to kind of get into. I did want to share that we're also going to be having a quality of hire webinar every month till the end of the year. And the quality of hire calculator itself is an active dynamic tool that every attendee who comes gets this real-time dynamic. It produces 5 different reports. It helps kind of take all this disparate data into one place. And then it's actually driven to kind of keep us as practitioners at the helm, so we can start iterating and looking and being empowered in a way, because each separate tool says they're doing the best job. I'm responding to every candidate. I have a great workflow, so there's so many things that we can kind of drill down on. That can be a whole separate topic and a whole separate, program lane and an episode. So we touch on something that's really important and really exciting, and hopefully we can address as we can develop programs over the remainder of the year into 2026. Shifting
As
gears.
long as and I appreciate that you've developed these tools because as an executive, I want objective data. So if you give me something that's like you've been measured and can help us improve our process, improve our hiring, improve our retention, then that's going to be key for selecting your solutions over somebody else's. That's a true differentiation.
Definitely, and also we here at Talent Xpanse, we turn the same quality of hire measure in on reflectively. The places and organizations that we've achieved success with, kind of the 3 pillars is performance, activity, and retention, right? What is the impact? What is the time to impact and value? What is the retention? And then performance over the short and long term. We have a score, that we look back on for the year, and I think it's a very strong differentiator between working with Talent Xpanse, because we're committed to your quality of hire and to holding our organization at a higher standard with that. So definitely, if anybody wants to jump into our next webinar, it's on October 16th, 2025. We're super excited, and we'll continue to share that both on Xpanse's platforms and within the program schedule for PIHRA. I think we've done it twice, 2 times last year, and also a spotlight stage at CAR. Very well received. I've been able to iterate based on our member experiences. We're at the 2.0 version based on some of our CAR feedback. So continuing.
And we're going to be continuing to iterate how that content is delivered to our audience. We consider Talent Xpanse a curriculum partner in the sense that you're helping us ensure that we are addressing talent in a way that helps both, again, the HR practitioner that has a lot of roles that they need to cover, including recruiting, to the individual whose sole role is to focus on recruiting.
Definitely exciting. So switching gears, I think, is there anything else that you want to call out for our members or our viewers today about the Future Talent Symposium coming in March of 2026. How can they get involved? Maybe, beyond attending, conversation starters, just I guess what excites you about the landscape in 2026 for us and the differentiations we're going to bring to the market around empowering HR and talent leaders.
Well, it's like I'm still just trying
Big
to
question.
manage
Lots of questions.
2025 because it seems that um, the HR landscape is shifts and shifts quickly right now. Uh, some companies are in hiring mode. Some companies are paused, and some companies maybe reacting to their peers or what they hear in the news and are trying to reduce um, headcount. So I wish I had my crystal ball or my shaking that 8 ball and know what's going to happen in the economy next year. Um, Regardless, we want to continue to bring the best practices. We want to hear from HR professionals directly. So anyone that's watching this episode, if you have a question, if you have a topic that you believe needs to be addressed, if you think you have the pulse on the economy and um, workplaces for 2026, let us know. Message us on LinkedIn, DM or out there for the world, and we'll start that conversation because we're going to be talking to marketplace leaders and practitioners to put that programming together for next year. It's going to be a half-day program, and our objectives again are going to give you that applied learning that after you leave our our symposium, you'll be able to apply these skills back in the workplace. So that's what I'm hopeful for. I am hopeful that maybe the economy shifts and we're back in recruiting mode. I don't know who needs to pull a lever. Maybe it's the Fed. Maybe it's somebody that decides that it's okay for us to continue to grow our businesses, and then we need more employees to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Rafael. And I think it's also appropriate that we kind of take a reflection and thank the leaders that attended. We had notable companies all throughout Orange County who brought distinction, passion projects, and their lived experience to the Talent Symposium in a sense of altruism and a commitment to the community. So somewhere along the way, either down below or somewhere on the landing page for this episode, we'll add some highlights, some of the content that was released last year around the Talent Symposium, who participated, just so our future prospects for 2026 are getting kind of that a little bit of hopefully we're building anticipation and the FOMO factor. You don't want to miss out here in 2026 by any means, because we are going to be tackling the big topics. Not only technically, recruiting, sourcing, AI impact, those pieces that are the technical administration of, recruiting and acquiring talent, as well as the intangibles, the upskilling, things, that we're not actually looking at in our workforce management perspectives.
So Tremaine, I'm gonna jump in and say, I can't wait to hear your perspective on AI for talent. I know that at our annual conference in 2026, so that's going to be May, we're going to do an entire AI content track, and we're going to cover talent. But this AI news capability, it changes on a weekly basis. So whatever you're covering in March may have already shifted in change in May. I know from an employee perspective, um, it it seems that everyone that I talk to blames AI. It's AI. AI is the reason that I am not being matched with with that desired job. And I'm like, look, I can't comment. I know that the California legislature is deliberating, or maybe it's on the governor's desk. By the time that we're chatting right now, on like what are the rules? Like, what are going to be the regulations behind the tools that HR can use to recruit? So all great things that we'll continue discussing in the coming possibly episodes in our in-person engagements.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think, Phil, we've covered a lot of ground. We have unearthed, not only what peer executives, the community voice is, what's happening. I think we've kind of set the groundwork for, an amazing remainder of the year and an even more impactful 2026, really to our shared mission, right? The mission of our organization is to elevate, engage, and serve. So for all of our members that are watching, all of our new members, interested members, just viewers in general, please, we look forward to the opportunity to continue to engage you, to serve, and to empower you so you can have elevated performance, elevated opportunities to make impact through the PIHRA and Talent Xpanse shared partnership and ecosystem. Just a real quick, kind of closing, we'll just highlight two action items. So please be on the lookout for more content, programs, over the remainder of the year and into next year, leading up to our 2026 Talent Symposium. Then also for our practitioners or anyone who might be interested in really delving into quality of hire, we'll be having a series of webinars hosted by Talent Xpanse and also throughout the program year with PIHRA for our tool, a diagnostic tool that is specific to recruiting and talent acquisition. How are we quantifying the success of our tools? And then we will be iterating on that to create more of a quality of hire system that will, continue to empower our practitioners. So lots to come there, more along the way as far as the tools and resources that we want to bring to the market. And also all the innovative opportunities that we have to continue to partner. We've been so privileged to have a full year or more of success with in our partnership. And I'm privileged to be, in partnership with you and the rest of the organization and our members. I'm enriched every day.
Yeah. So look, what I want to have happen next year is that we're doing 2x placement. I know you'd love that. It would make me, very happy for us to achieve that. We'll continue to not only drive, the employers that are looking, to hire employees, but also, the qualified individuals that are sometimes active, but often passive, potential candidates looking for that next opportunity. And then for anyone that's watching, just because this has just been, one of the great successes in the time that I've been here at PIHRA, I think the easiest way to sometimes connect with your audience is just show up. Our 18 communities have sometimes monthly meetings or meetings every other month, continuing education or socials. And for the most part, I believe they all still give employers opportunity to say, hey, I have a opening for such and such position, and also give those that are looking an opportunity to stand up and say, hey, I am looking. And I have been to enough meetings that I have seen many people connect at that meeting, and that was like the shortest route to fill your opening with a qualified candidate.
Definitely. So community enrichment, return to community, active, champions for your background and experience. And
Well,
also
Tremaine,
just,
does that still happen at PIHRA South OC?
oh, absolutely. Yeah, we
Okay.
have our spotlight for our employers and also for those who are in, we're kind of gravitating away from the term transition into evolution, right?
Okay.
Let's make it, evolutionary, because we're building where we've been, not just transitioning from where we've come. So just empower, continue to nurture those who are in a journey. So we absolutely have that. We invite all employers, and we're going to continue to reach out to the business community at large, CEOs, HR practitioners, operations leaders, those folks who may not know where to find the right HR people. and really start to bring us as a talent resource to the broader community.
I know where they're at. They're at PIHRA. Like we're the most engaged community. So it was like, look no further.
Exactly. And hopefully we'll do a lot of footwork there. And then, the exponent of that is also helping our members who are having talent gaps internally, whether that's, hard to fill technology positions, supply chain management, the things that are causing their businesses hardship. We look forward to being your partner and helping you achieve success in introducing the right resource, managing the right relationship, that is going to get, close the gap on talent gaps internally so that your organization continues to thrive and overcome its, individual challenges. So we have kind of a concurrent, priority system here in helping our members at every stage, of their career and career impact. So Rafael, we'll just close really quick with just two highlights. One, again, of the Talent Symposium coming in 2026. Also, I mentioned that somewhere along the way, I'll put links down here, kind of a reflection page for last year, a little bit about the quality of hire calculator. And then, in closing, kind of like a reflection, question for you, Rafael, what really truly inspires you about meeting and addressing the unique needs of our HR practitioners and/or our talent and recruiting practitioners over the coming year?
Well, since we're closing, one of the links that I want you to share is also my LinkedIn because I want to connect with your community. And I do respond. It is me on LinkedIn, not a bot, not outsourced. So sometimes it may take a little while, but it is always me responding. So I do invite you to connect. What still motivates me very much about talent and recruiting right now is that I have seen 2025 be, I think, the toughest year for a lot of people that I know. HR professionals have lost their jobs because the employer decided to reduce headcount. Sometimes it's been entire teams. They will close the entire HR teams in California, and it'll be managed in North Carolina. So I want to help the HR community, whether they're members or not. Uh, what I am about is making sure that we're serving the community. So I want to make those connections. I want to make those introductions. I want us to launch the right tools, the right learning, so that we can be more efficient in getting people re-employed, to have companies find the right individuals that are going to grow within the organization and be able to further continue to that business success.
Fantastic. Thank you. And we're in such a privileged place to help achieve that, not only for our members, but for the broader HR community. If you are out there in the HR community, we are specialists in recruiting and working with HR practitioners and HR talent, as well as all of the business functions. If you are seeking, we look forward to having proactive conversations. If you are searching for talent, we look forward to supporting you as a business in a B2B relationship, helping you to achieve your business initiatives. So we'll just close with a quick recap. So Talent Xpanse, we are where talent capabilities and business initiatives converge. We're in a privileged position to add value and look forward to having conversations with you in the near future. And thank you, Rafael, for a year in incredibly impactful partnership, elevating, engaging, and serving our community. And then I look forward to, the many successes in our long-standing partnership to continue for many, many years to come.
Well, I appreciate you not only in this relationship, but as a volunteer leader of our organization. And I look forward for us to continue to influence greatness in human resources.
Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you for everyone who attended. We look forward to engaging, elevating, and serving and helping you meet your business initiatives as an organization. Take care.